It's never fun when the bobbin runs out. So when you're sewing along and your machine stops, it will say bobbin thread low. Now a lot of times people will peek inside and realize, wait, I still have thread on the bobbin. Well, I'm going to show you what you're actually seeing. But before we go to that, I want to show you, if you know you have enough thread to finish the end of your fabric, don't touch OK. Leave the screen right up on your machine and continue to sew. Oh, I was still going in permanent reverse. There we go. And you'll be able to continue sewing, which is really nice. And you'll be able to get to the end of your fabric. Now, this is why sometimes when people get this, they look down in here and I can see pink thread and you're like, why did that come up? Well, here is why. This is what you saw when you peeked down through the door. You saw all this thread. But what you really were seeing is that the thread had been used up down below, which is where the sensor goes through, and you have the thread in that top little notch. That's the leftover thread that you can use up if you know you have extra thread there and not touch OK there. So I'm going to show you really quick how to wind a bobbin so there's less thread in the top. And this is really good more when you do an embroidery bobbin. This is how I usually do it. So what I'm going to do is just quick kind of do my bobbin, put the thread up through the middle. This is a great trick for saving that extra little bit. So we're going to go ahead and engage the bobbin winder. And I've got it really slow here just so it doesn't race away on me, but normally this works just fine if it's all the way fast. So I'm going to hold my thread just straight up from the bobbin like I normally do. But as soon as I push play, I'm going to let it wind a couple times around the top part. But then I'm going to tap the thread. What it's going to do is it's going to leave a shorter amount of distance along the top part of the bobbin and start filling down below. That way when the sensor goes off, you know you probably only have, probably about a foot of thread. And it's so fun when you pull your bobbin thread out and you go, oh, I'm all the way to the end. So here's how we're going to do it. I'm going to push play and then bump it down. So see how it jumped all the way down really fast and started to wind? That way it leaves less in that top groove and more of the thread gets used up. So that's my little trick when I wind bobbins, to utilize the bobbin sensor so I have the smallest amount of thread left on the bobbin.